Hey there, welcome back. In this session, I'm going to be showing you how to show suggested addresses in a drop-down list when users start typing their addresses in the input field. This is very useful when a user denies sharing his/her location accidentally, or when the HTML geolocation API does not support by their browsers. We can easily get this functionality working using autocomplete. First, I'm going to be showing you what autocomplete is and how to use it inside our project. Then, you're going to learn how to restrict suggested addresses to a specific region so that users can get their addresses with less typing. Finally, let's have some fun changing the CSS style of the list to match our theme. What is autocomplete? Autocomplete is a Google's library, which is a part of Google's Places library in the Google's Map JavaScript API. The first thing to do is to load the Google Maps API URL before using the autocomplete library in our project. As you can see, the API URL is generic, so we just need two query parameters to add at the end to let the API know that we are using the autocomplete library. The first query parameter is the library name that we want to use, in this case, Places. As I mentioned earlier, autocomplete is a part of Places library. The second parameter is the key. Let's see that in action. Go to index.html and inside the head element, create a script tag with a source attribute equals, inside the quotes, add https://maps.googleapis.com/maps/api/js and question mark libraries equals places, which is the first parameter, then and sign key equals your actual API key that you get it from Google, and the closing script tag. The next thing we want to do is instantiate autocomplete object. To do that, switch back to user location component, and after the data function, I'm going to create another function called mounted. Mounted, opening and closing parentheses, and opening and closing curly braces. This will be called whenever the DOM is ready. So it's a great place to do any DOM manipulation. Let's instantiate autocomplete object inside there. New space google.maps.places autocomplete with uppercase A, opening and closing parentheses. It will take a few parameters. The main one is the input DOM element that we want to add the autocomplete functionality into. To do that, I'm going to set an ID attribute called autocomplete to the input field. Then come back here. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to say document.get element by ID, opening and closing parentheses, autocomplete. Let's save the file and run the app. That's great. Let's see how we can show addresses from a specific region close to a user location so that it's easy to find his or her address with minimal typing. For example, I live in Canada, and when I type 123, the suggested addresses are from the US and Taiwan. I can still get my address, but it takes longer. Let's say I want to show Ottawa street addresses first before showing suggestions from other cities or countries. To do that, all we need is the geographic coordinates of the city. In this case, Ottawa. You can find that information by just doing a simple search like Ottawa, Ontario geographic coordinates, and there it is. This is actually DD coordinates, decimal degree, but what I want is a simple standard coordinates. So I'm going to click the first link and the simple standard is the first option. Now we got that coordinates. To add the coordinates into our project, I would need to pass a JavaScript object as a second parameter when instantiating autocomplete. So after that comma, create an object by opening and closing parentheses and create a property called bounds. And its value is going to be two maps object, lat long bound and an actual lat long. First, instantiate lat long bounds object, new space google dot maps dot lat long bound. Inside the parenthesis, instantiate lat long object. This is where I'm going to add the coordinates new space google dot maps dot lat long opening and closing parenthesis. Inside that, paste the coordinate values separated by comma, like so. Let's switch back to the browser. As you can see, it shows all the Ottawa addresses first, followed by other matching addresses. Nice. Let's change some style to the drop-down list to match our theme. This image shows what CSS classes we need in order to change the list style. I'm going to get rid of the icon on the left side of each address, which is .pack-icon class. Inside the style tag, I'm going to say .pac-icon, opening and closing curly braces. Inside that, display none, semicolon, which will get rid of the icon. And it did. Nice. Let's increase padding to each item. The target CSS class for that would be pack-item. I'm going to give padding 10 pixels to all sides. Then increase the font size of the text to 16 pixels. Let's change the cursor to a pointer, which is the hand symbol. Finally, I'm going to give a hover state for the pack-item class with gray background color. Let's check this. That looks better. As you can see, the city, province, and the country has font size as expected, but not the actual street name. To change the street name font size, we need to use another CSS class named pack-item-query. So, .pack-item-query, opening and closing parentheses, I'm going to set the font size to 16 pixels. Let's try one more time and it works. There you have it. Hey, if you want to know more about Google Maps API and how you can use it to enhance location-based services in your JavaScript or Vue.js app, check out my course link in the description below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.